Hi there, my name is Nadya and I work in Spire Research and Consulting. Today we will be discussing KeMenDikBud's new educational reform called Freedom of Learning, or what we call Merdeka Belajar. Stay tuned to learn more about this movement. For the past few decades, Indonesia has been performing relatively low in comparison to our OECD countries in reading and comprehension. But as the saying goes, better late than never. Let's start our educational reform now to better the young minds who will lead the future Indonesia. Following educational leaders right now like Norway, Singapore, and Finland, Indonesia will practice comprehension over memorization to fulfill greater understanding and greater in-depth knowledge for the young minds that we have to educate now. KeMenDikBud's Freedom of Learning will be focusing on 4 core concepts of education. Number 1 being comprehension, number 2, digital learning, number 3, character building, and last but not the least, the new competency assessment exam that will be now published instead of the old Ujian Nasional that has been running for decades. Indonesian educators will now live by the new mantra, comprehension over memorization. The new Minister of Education and Culture could have not said it better himself. This is what Indonesia needs in the future. I am sorry, but we do not need kids who are good at memorizing. One may ask, how do we achieve comprehension over memorization? Instead of utilizing traditional multiple-choice questions, or also known as closed-ended questions, we should provide open-ended questions and creative questions to pose to our students to allow them to think outside of the box. Closed-ended questions will only allow them to reply in textbook answers that they have read and learned and memorized before actual examination dates. Multiple-choice questions are simply not good enough indicators of a student's intelligence. COVID-19 has taught us a lot of things, from hygiene to social distancing. But mainly, we have learned that anything and everything can be done online. Learning is not confined to a space. It is not merely a whiteboard, 30 students, and a classroom. Learning takes place whenever a student is eager to absorb new information. 2 of the biggest barriers here in Indonesia to quality education is commute and tuition fees. Imagine how digital learning can help cut costs and eliminate commute from the list of problems that students may have. Costs for this include infrastructure and facilities that are provided by schools. If you cut costs from these 2 aspects of just schooling, it will help lower down tuition fees by a lot. 2 out of 3 Indonesians have internet access. Ergo, 67% of Indonesia can access digital learning. Character building is a lesson not only meant for students, but also for educational institutions. From a school's point of view, character building would mean psychological security to ensure that students feel safe to be creative, ask questions, and most importantly, make mistakes. Think of schools as a miniature model of real life. We are all bound to make mistakes. So schools are supposed to teach their students that instead of being judged by one's mistakes, we should be judged by how we overcome those mistakes. Character building from a student's perspective is self-awareness. What is self-awareness, you may ask? Self-awareness is the skill of knowing one's strengths and one's weaknesses. Instead of only showing those strengths and shunning away your weaknesses, admit to them, acknowledge them, and work on them. That's the only way one grows as a person. And that is how one becomes an independent learner. Only by being an independent learner can educational institutions finally achieve student-centric systems than teacher-centric systems. The learning starts from within, and teachers are there to facilitate for you to gain and absorb knowledge. Last but definitely not the least, the KeMenDikBud is terminating the Ujian Nasional. Previously, Ujian Nasional was issued to 6th, 9th, and 12th graders, but they have finally decided that a whole day's worth of exams does not properly reflect 3 years of a student's learning. The Ujian Nasional was run on a subject-based format, with the 5 subjects being English, Bahasa Indonesia, Humanities, Sciences, and Mathematics. Now, the new competency exam will be run in a completely different manner. They will focus on survey of character in numeracy, literacy, and character education strengthening. Instead of being issued to 6th graders, 9th graders, and 12th graders, we're going to be following the elementary school, middle school, and high school policy. This exam will be issued to 4th graders by the end of elementary, 8th graders by the end of middle school, and 11th graders mid-high school year. How can both schools and students follow this educational reform? The key word here is customization and not mass education, as we are all individual beings, we all learn different ways, and we all have our own ceilings. Schools should respect that, and schools should help us achieve our individual maximum potential. Freedom of learning will allow fellow Indonesians to regain creativity, imagination, and innovation. The mind will only wander where it has been allowed to go. So this system will help our fellow Indonesians think outside of the boxes. As a research and consulting company, we will do whatever we can to help this educational reform and help the companies who also believe in KeMenDikBud's vision. To learn more, click on the link provided below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video to your friends. Bye!